I don't know if I'm the only one, but the start of summer always has me in such a good mood. I just feel more productive. I feel like the days are brighter. I love the warm weather. And now that summer is on the horizon, I'm going to be sharing how we can have a glow up for the summer. We have 60 days to lock in, to create some new healthy habits, and to prepare ourselves for having the best summer yet. So I have divided this video into 4 different parts. So we have fitness, diet, beauty, and also mindset. So this is going to be our checklist for our summer glow up, and we're going to dive in first with fitness. Now, I love when the weather turns warmer, and again, of course, like a little caveat, I know not everyone is going into summer, but I'm going into summer. Well, I live in Las Vegas, so we're kind of already in summer right now, but we're just going to go off the actual date of the start of summer, so we're gonna go with that. I love when the weather turns warmer because I love being outside. Like I mentioned, I live in Las Vegas, and I feel like there's so much to do for outdoor activities. Like hiking is one of my favorite things to do, so I love when I'm able to hike. Honestly, right now is kind of like one of our sweet spots for hiking, because when the actual summer comes, it does get a little bit too hot. But there's different places that you can go just outside of Las Vegas that are a little bit cooler, where you can still get hikes in. So I've been known to do that too, because hiking is one of my favorite things. When I still had my dog, one of the things that we loved to do together was go on hikes. So any sort of outdoor workouts that I can do, I just think are so much fun. I've mentioned in past videos too that I love walking. So again, if you live somewhere that has been like extremely cold and snowy and just all of that terrible weather, maybe your weather is going to be turning around, and walking, especially walking outside, is a free activity. It's such a good way to be able to move your body. It's a great way to get in a low impact workout, which for me are some of my favorites. I'm not really like a high impact, high cardio, really hard on like, especially my knees. So walking is just my favorite exercise. It is what I do every single day. It is how I start my mornings. I love to do a sunrise walk. For me, I think that's so fun. Again, I know not everybody can do that, but for me, I love to do a sunrise walk and really get started, kind of setting my circadian rhythm. So the first thing that I do when I wake up and the sun is coming up is I try to get outside, get that sunlight in my eyes, and that helps with your circadian rhythm and setting yourself up for success through the day. So I love my sunrise walks. I typically also like to walk after I eat. So again, like after I eat lunch, I like to try to get out on another walk and just move my body. And then again, after dinner, I like to do like a sunset walk as well. And for me, again, walking being my main form of exercise, I aim for anywhere from like 6 to 9 miles a day, which I know is a lot, and I know not everybody has that amount of time. I do also have a walking pad in my apartment, so if I'm not able to like get outside, if I still need to be working or something like that, then I can just use my standing desk and use my walking pad at the same time. So that's like one of my little hacks of how I get in extra steps as well throughout the day. But for me, being able to walk outside and just kind of have that time outside with nature, all those things, that is what makes me so happy. But it's also really easy, like if you have a yoga mat at home and you can take your yoga mat onto your patio or whatever you may have. If you do have a yard, being able to work out in the backyard. You could even put, some free weights out in the backyard, do something along those lines. And then, of course, I feel like there's really been a rise in something like pickleball. Pickleball has like taken over Las Vegas. There's multiple parks that have opened. We've had something called Chicken and Pickle open up. Chicken and Pickle is open in Las Vegas, and if you don't like being bored, this is going to be a great place for you. There is so much to do here. Indoor and outdoor pickleball courts. There's cornhole, shuffleboard, foosball, even a life-size battleship, multiple bars including a rooftop bar, and even a dog park. That's also outdoors, and it's something to be able to do with friends. And I just think I get really excited when I see different fitness things like this, like being on the rise, something that is still like a social activity with friends, but is focused on like moving your body, isn't necessarily just focused on like party, drinking, and not even necessarily just focused on eating. I think a lot of times when I think of social settings, I think of food and drinks. And so I love when it's something that's more focused on fitness. And I know I have a couple friends here who actually are joined like a pickleball league and everything. But there's, of course, there's other things too, basketball. I mean, even something like golf, like there's a lot of different activities that you can do during the summertime. So those are just a few fitness tips that I wanted to share. Next up, let's move over to diet, because also this time of year, I feel like I do this the change of seasons as well. And even when I did like a fall healthy habits video, I talked about changing up food for it and like, buying more like sweet potatoes and doing a little bit more like almost like heavier meals. And so I feel like when I think about the summer, this is when I start to like go a little bit lighter. I like to focus on things like salads, smoothies. Also recently I've gotten really into juicing, which I enjoy. So I just take a few things like carrots, beets, ginger, usually like pineapple. I'm trying to think of what else I put in there. Maybe like an apple. Like I try not to do too much fruit and make it super sweet because fruit is, you know, high in natural sugars. But I try to get like a good mix in there, add in like some turmeric and things like that. And then be able to have a juice, especially when I do want to break my fast in the morning. I can do that with a juice. And so I've been really into juicing, and I feel like that's kind of a little bit more summery. But I also made a list of some in-season fruits and vegetables as we head into the summer months. And not only are these like more fresh, but a lot of times they are going to be a little bit less expensive when you buy them in season versus trying to buy them out of season. And we all know prices are going up everywhere. But a few things, like I said, switch up foods with the fresh fruits and veggies that are in season, like arugula, lettuce, spinach, carrots, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, celery. We even have some herbs in here that I found, like chives, dill, mint, parsley, and thyme. I really felt like a lot of those kind of screamed like summer vibes, or like a dip or something along those lines, like a Mediterranean dip. For fruits I have down here are strawberries, cherries, avocados, lemons, limes, and pineapples. So a few other things that I wrote down, I definitely think in warm weather, I think about barbecuing, which again, social setting, this one based around food, of course. But for me, I definitely love the thought of gathering with friends and like everyone is bringing, you know, a side or something along those lines, and then you're grilling up whatever it is that you want to make for that night. Like recently I just barbecued with some friends and we just did a couple different meats, side of rice, and then had like some fruits and veggies on the sides, and it was super easy to do. I definitely correlate warm weather with barbecuing. And then I also think, you know, I've been seeing these sweet potato bowls that are really popular. I actually just posted one with salmon. It was sweet potatoes and rice and salmon, and then I had some veggies on there like edamame and that sort of thing. And I think something similar for warm weather, but I take away like a few things. Like I feel like I'll do less sweet potatoes in the summertime, but even just like a fresh salmon bowl or something that has not lettuce in it. I was watching a video from Gracie Norton the other day, who's one of my favorite creators, and I found her when I was struggling with my PCOS symptoms, and she was talking about how she loves to make salads but without lettuce, and I was like, wait, I feel you, girl.
Sometimes I think salads are better when they don't have any lettuce. I will always make mine with chopped up fruits and vegetables, so I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorites. This is super hydrating, it's crunchy, and it is so refreshing. I'll start with 3 to 4 cups of watermelon, and the watermelon in Florida right now is so crisp and juicy. And then we've got 2 cups of English cucumbers. We've got our second cup, adding 1.5 cups of jicama. If you've never had jicama before, it doesn't really have a taste, it just adds the best texture. Listen to this crunch. 1 cup of orange quinoa. What I'll usually do is just get pre-made quinoa, and then I'll chop up a navel orange and mix it in. We've got a 1/3 cup of pomegranates, a 1/3 cup of honey roasted pistachios, and we're gonna finish it off with some mint and basil. Every time I make this, I still can't get over how pretty this salad is. I'll usually add a balsamic dressing and avocado, something that's super hydrating and refreshing for the summer. You have to make this.
That's definitely a recipe that I want to try for myself. I love posting my recipes over here, so I will be sharing if I do. And the last thing that I had is just something that I think we could do a lot, not just upcoming for summer, but reducing refined sugar. This is a journey that I have been on a lot myself, and sometimes I'm really good at it and sometimes we're not so good at it. Did I have a cherry chai from Starbucks this morning? I did. Don't look at the sugar intake. Don't do it. But I have noticed, and I've done videos on it as well on this channel, of how much better my body feels, looks. Again, someone who struggles with hormonal acne, like my body feels so much better when I make a conscious effort to cut out refined sugar. And when I say refined sugar, I mean like added sugar to things. You know, I love dates. I have like 2 dates every single day. Again, I was talking about juicing the fruit that has the natural smoothies. Again, like I said too, I don't want to just stuff a bunch of fruit into my juice and just be drinking sugary fruit juice, even though it's natural. So that's still something that I try to pay attention to, but especially when it comes to the added sugar that we have, which unfortunately, if you actually look at labels, like I was looking at ketchup the other day, like sugar is like one of the first ingredients in ketchup. That's why? But making an effort to cut back on that and to have like healthier swaps, I think can be so important. And I think there's a lot of talk around entering into summer, and there's a lot of focus on bodies and what they look like and all of those things, which I don't necessarily love that particular conversation, but I do think sometimes it can be a little added motivation to pay better attention to not only your diet but like your lifestyle as well. And then going along with that is cutting out alcohol or cutting back on alcohol. So for me, I actually did dry January this year, and then I'm filming this like April 8th, I think it is, and haven't had alcohol yet. So I did it for dry January and I was like, woo. And then February came and I was like, nah. And then March came and I was like, ah. And now we're halfway through April. And for me, I will say I haven't been a big drinker for most of my life. I always say like there's definitely times where I have drank more than others, but as a whole, I've never really had like that kind of relationship with alcohol. So it's a little bit, I don't know if I want to say easier for me to give it up or to cut back or that sort of thing, but it's not something that I have to think super hard about because it's been a part of my lifestyle for so many years. But again, going back to like, for me, like sugar is harder for me to give up than alcohol. And sometimes when it comes to mocktails, you really want to be looking at the sugar content of that as well, because a lot of times those can end up being super sugary too. For me, again, my body feels so much better. Again, it's been almost a full 4 months that I haven't had alcohol, and I can just tell not only does my body feel and look better, but I'm also just more productive. I feel like, you know, I'm someone who has like terrible hangovers. When I get like, my whole day will be ruined if I have a bad hangover. And especially as someone who, I work for myself and kind of feel like I always have to be working, so I don't really like to have days off, especially days that are just not productive at all. Like I get having like your reset day, or if you're like feeling ill, you know, being able to take some time off. But if it's just because I don't feel good because of a hangover, that makes me even more frustrated because I know that I'm not being as productive. So this is my like little challenge to you, is we're like locking in for the 60 days of maybe like trying it for a week or two, or if you want to try like the 30 days, like you're doing like a dry January, like a, what were people calling it, like moist February? Yeah. Moist March. What could April be?
Like, this is usually when I pour a drink, so the timing is just really ironic. I was like, go girl. My 60 days start tomorrow.
Lock in 60 days tomorrow as you pour your wine.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize you were pouring yourself a glass of wine as I was talking about my 4 months of sobriety. That is my challenge to you as we lock in for 60 days. All right, we're gonna move over to beauty. So again, I kind of think the change of seasons is just a good time to reevaluate your beauty routine. Specifically, I'm kind of thinking about skincare. So of course, as we're going into the warmer months, I think having a good sunscreen is very important. I think SPF is important all year round, of course, but especially going into the warmer months, if you're outside more, again, if you're following things that I said at the beginning of the video, walking outside, doing workouts outside, playing your pickleball outside, any of those things, you do want to make sure that you have a good SPF. So I do have a main YouTube channel as well where I specifically focus on beauty, and I talk about SPFs over there. Thinking about maybe doing a short form video on like 5 of my favorites, but just for a few recommendations, like I've talked about the IT Cosmetics Hello Sunshine for a couple of years now. I wore it all last summer. I wore it through several vacations. I've repurchased it multiple times. I think that is a great one. Also, most recently, Elemis came out with like a Pro Collagen SPF. I believe it's SPF 50, and I've been wearing it for the past week, and it is beautiful. It is very hydrating, blends in right away, doesn't leave like a white cast or anything along those lines. I do also really like Super Goop. I know they have a lot of popular products, like the invisible one. The regular one I think is great too, but I repurchased a couple of Super Goop sunscreens also. A more affordable one that's a tinted sunscreen is from Bliss, and I usually just get these from Target, but they're it's in like a yellow and blue tube, and it's just their tinted SPF. I think that's a really nice one as well. So there's a lot of good ones. One that I'm really trying to look more into is some K-Beauty sunscreen. I know I was talking about the Beauty of Joseon recently, but a lot of people told me on my main channel that it has been reformulated, and isn't as good as the original. So that's definitely disappointing, but I do want to try to find some good Korean skincare options as well. So let me know if you have any in the comments. I also think about glowy skin, which is something that you can get in your SPF, but collagen masks are definitely having their moment right now. I have a couple from, I think it's Biodance is a brand that I've gotten on Amazon before, and then also Medicube makes some collagen masks.
Of my lips, but it is time to take off the collagen mask. The Medicube collagen mask, I've had it on for only 1 hour and it's already pretty dried down. You can see it's pretty clear everywhere. Right here I do have the mask overlapped, but everywhere else is pretty clear. So let's take it off. Oh. All right, my skin right after taking it off feels super smooth.
I wear these. I think that you only have to wear them for like an hour and a half tops. I see a lot of people wearing them overnight and being like, I wake up with glowy skin. Like I wear them for like an hour at night. It dries down completely. I don't have to sleep with a mask on my face and I still wake up with glowy skin. So those are definitely some that I really enjoy. And skin tints are definitely having a moment right now. So when I think about beauty routines for the warmer weather months, I definitely think about lighter coverage, almost kind of like no makeup type of looks. But I know for me, I kind of gear that way all year round, but especially right now in the warmer months and right now in the beauty industry, skin tints are really having a moment. I've been trying 4 new ones that all have come out recently. Makeup Forever as like Super Boost skin tint, and also from Milk Makeup, their hydrogel skin tint. More affordable ones, I have one on today from Colourpop, their foundation balm, and then also the Milani Conceal and Perfect. It's a stick skin tint. Those are so fabulous as well, and I would highly recommend them. Vitamin C, I think is also, well, I think vitamin C has always been having a moment, to be honest. I mean, I've talked about vitamin C for quite some time, but I feel like right now there's kind of like a resurgence around not only vitamin C, but I'll say like hyaluronic acid as well. Like I've been using the hyaluronic acid from the Inkey list, and I really enjoyed that, but also from Medicube, which is a Korean skincare brand, their vitamin C like capsule cream, that is what I have been using, and not only does it feel so nice, the skin looks good, and I was really having a glow up with my glowy skin recently. And I really credit the Medicube products. I've also been trying some of their pink salmon products, again the collagen masks, the vitamin C. And one thing with vitamin C though is it is very important to make sure that you follow that up with a good SPF. Typically you have vitamin C that you're wearing during the day because it helps with the free radicals, and then you do want to make sure that you have the good SPF over that. Another thing that I put on my list is red light therapy. This is something that I've been talking about a lot on my main channel as well. I recently got the Solawave 4-in-1 wand. You can get it from the Solawave website. It's also available on Amazon. It is a really compact little wand, but it has the red light, it has vibration, it's like warming when you apply it to the face. And this was one thing that I noticed a really big difference with my skin. Again, being more acne prone and especially hormonal acne, the red light therapy improved that so much. And from so many people that I hear talk about red light therapy, whether it be a wand like this, whether it be a mask, whether it be you can buy like red light panels and just kind of hold them in front of your face. I've heard so many people talk about the difference that they've seen in their skin when it comes to red light therapy. Again, I really like this wand because I was recently just out of town, and it comes with its own little travel case too, and I took it out of town with me. I just put it into my skincare bag in its own little case, and I was still able to do it at night. The one from Solawave, I like it too because it's 12 minutes total, and you use it for 3 minutes at a time in 4 different areas of your face, and it'll stop vibrating for a few seconds when it's time to move on, when those 3 minutes are up. So you don't have to be like looking at the timer or thinking about what's going on. You just have them right there, but you do kind of like the lower side of your face, under eyes, forehead, and then also neck. So red light therapy is in for our summer glow up. Another thing I wanted to mention is dermaplaning. This is something that you can do at home, or if you want to, I feel like this video could also be like a sign to book like a self-care day as well. And I know dermaplaning is quite popular when it comes to facial services, but I actually just do dermaplaning at home. I have the Kitsch Dermaplaners. I just buy mine off of Amazon in a pack of like 10 or 20 at a time.
I'm doing my monthly shaving my face, and just look at that. Shaving my face makes my skin feel so smooth, and skincare products go on even better. Again, oof. I love doing dermaplaning at home. I just add some oil to my skin, and I'm using the Kitsch razors. These are my favorite. I've been doing this for years. I've never had my hair grow back thicker or darker or anything like that. It's a must in my skincare routine.
I've been shaving my face for years, probably like 6 years at this point, and I've never had issues with hair growing back thicker or darker. I know that's one thing that people say about shaving the face. I've never noticed that the hair grows back the same way that it does when I shaved it off in the last month. I typically do it, I'm gonna say at least once a month, sometimes maybe like every, I don't even think it's every other week. Someone asked me the other day, because I posted a video and it said like my monthly, you know, routine, and I was dermaplaning. They said, why do you only do it once a week? I do it once a month. I do it once a week. And I was like, I feel like I really only need to do it once a month, so it doesn't take me too long to do, but it makes your skincare like sink into the skin so much better. Like your makeup feels so smooth, your just whole face feels so much smoother after you do it. So I love doing my dermaplaning at home. But again, like I said, this is also could be a sign to book a self-care day, whether it be a massage, maybe you're getting your hair touched up, or again, booking, you know, some facial services or things like that. That can definitely help us glow up for summer. Also, I'm someone, when I think of no makeup days, I think of like really light coverage on the skin, either the skin tint, maybe just using concealer as foundation, some powder. I typically always do my brows, and then a lot of times I don't even do a lot for eye makeup. I'm someone who wears like 1 or 2 eyeshadows. Maybe some days I'm just doing liner, but I always try to have a good mascara. I don't have lash extensions. I don't really wear false lashes because they bother my eyes, so I try to have a good mascara and one that's not going to move on me. My favorite mascara for sure is going to be the Rare Beauty. That has been a favorite of mine for so long. I've repurchased it so many times. Again, it's available at Sephora. Today I have on the Tarte XL. This is another great mascara that I highly recommend. So Makeup by Mario just released a new mascara. I purchased it for the Sephora sale and I have been very impressed with it. Maybelline and L'Oreal are 2 affordable brands that I also think their mascaras are really good. The Maybelline Sky High, the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, those are some favorites as well. And then I like to finish it off with either a lip gloss or a lip oil. So I just prefer a gloss or oil these days. Lip liner is also my favorite. Like a lot of times I can just wear a lip liner, fill my lips in, and I'm good. I actually just got back from Sephora and I purchased not 1 but 2 lip liners today. Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude and the Freck 03 lip liner. I think that those are fabulous and so long wearing. And then also I do love me some glosses, and I just released my own lip gloss collaboration. So I was very excited about that. My collection with Ofra Cosmetics is out now, and there are 3 new lip glosses in the set. They are called Next Chapter Fam. I have a whole video on my main channel if you want to see more about that. But it was also a collaboration with 2 of my best friends, Ashley and Katie. So we teamed up to come up with our 3, you know, perfect shades for our lip glosses, and the collection is available now at ofracosmetics.com. If you do want to check out the glosses, you can use my affiliate code Samantha at checkout. And then just 2 other things that I'm going to mention for that, of course, is hydration and getting good quality sleep. I think staying hydrated is a key to having good skin as well. And then of course, I've talked in videos before about how like beauty sleep is a term that, you know, I think that we can kind of laugh at, but there is some research behind it. There's a lot of research behind the benefits of sleep, and it's just good for you all around. So hydration and sleep, 2 things we're also focusing on in the next 60 days. And lastly, but one that I think is most important, is mindset for our checklist. So a couple of different things that I wrote down. One thing that I love to do is to come up with a word of the month. So this is something that I try to do every single month, and that's just kind of the one word that I focus on. And so the word of the month that I came up with for April was efficiency. And again, this is kind of tying in with procrastination. So recently for my brand by Samantha March, I came out with the Procrastination Deck, and I have a video on this channel of spending a week with me doing all the items that I drew from the Procrastination Deck, from washing my car to meal prepping, that sort of thing. It was really fun to do that video, but I made that Procrastination Deck essentially for myself, because procrastination is something that I have always struggled with. And again, as someone who is an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who, you know, works for myself, makes my own schedule, I'm like, it's not, I feel like I'm not efficient with my time enough, because I often tend to put things off until the very last minute. And I ended up doing a video on my main channel that seemed to resonate with a lot of people, talking about how I suspect that I might have undiagnosed ADHD. And one of the symptoms of that, especially in females, is struggling with procrastination. And it wasn't until I did the launch for the deck and I was talking about my procrastination struggles that I started to get so many comments from other women, especially saying that they have been diagnosed with ADHD, and that was one thing that their doctor had said to them. And I was like, wait a second. So it actually made me look into it. And again, I haven't been diagnosed. I haven't gone to a doctor or anything, but it really made me stop and wonder, like, I wonder if that maybe is a little part of it. And I know I had people say that it's not that getting their diagnosis, you know, cured them or made them not procrastinate anymore, but it kind of helped their anxiety around their procrastination struggles, knowing that there was a reason for it. And it kind of made me think of that with like my PCOS diagnosis. Just getting diagnosed didn't cure me. It didn't, you know, cure my symptoms overnight or anything like that, but it made me understand it a little bit more. And it also kind of gave me a jumping off point of like what I should be researching, how I can make changes into my lifestyle. And I kind of thought the same with, you know, kind of suspecting that maybe I have ADHD. I like to use this every single week and draw a card and just be able to focus on that. So my word of the month is efficiency. Also, having an intention of the quarter is a new thing that I'm focusing on. So I've done word of the month, and I've done word of the month for a couple of years now, but I was reading recently about having an intention of the quarter, and there's a bunch of different ways that I saw this. You know, some people kind of have like a full sentence that they work on. So if you want to see another video on that, maybe even just like a short form video, that's something that I can put together. But one thing that I wrote down for my intention is connecting more with my friends and family. Especially for me, all of my family lives far from me, and it takes a lot of, you know, it sounds strange, but it definitely takes a lot of effort to keep in touch with them, keep up with their lives and all of those things. And for me, my younger brother and his wife are pregnant. They're expecting their first baby this summer. And I think with their pregnancy news, it definitely made me feel like I don't think that I'm keeping up with them well enough. And it's so funny because literally in the middle of this video, my brother called me. And normally if people call me during videos, I don't answer because I just keep filming. But I was like, oh, it's my brother. Like, you know, I'll drop everything to be able to see like what's going on, what are the updates. And that's just something that I really want to make sure that I'm putting an emphasis in for the quarter, for the next, you know, 60 days as we're talking about in this video, is just making sure that I'm keeping up with them. And I think sometimes social media, like if you follow your friends and your family on social media, it can make you feel like maybe you're keeping up with them and you see like the photos that they're posting or even something like their Snapchats and things like that. But is that really you connecting with them? Is that really you knowing what's going on in their lives? So that's my intention for the quarter. Of course, I always talk about gratitude practice. I think this is something that is so important. I've talked about it at length, and again under my brand by Samantha March, I've even made my own gratitude journals. I love my gratitude journals. They have one page that's just a little bit more free-flowing where you can just write down everything you're grateful for that day, that week, that month. I use them daily, so at night I write down everything that I'm grateful for during that day. And there's also more guided pages that give you some prompts in case you're someone who sometimes isn't able to do the brain dump like that. And I just kind of go back and forth. And some days it's like, it's nice, I have my prompts, I, you know, have ideas of what I can write down. And then other days I really do just want to go through my entire day, reflect back on it, and have the gratitude for it. So I always think gratitude practice is so important. And also visualization. And there's a couple different things that I want to talk about under visualization, because one is a vision board, which I love making vision boards, especially for the year. I did a video looking back at my vision board for 2024 and how so much in my camera roll matched up to the pictures that I had put on my vision board. So I love doing things like that. But even when I talk about visualizing, I think when we're, you know, going into a new season is to kind of like reset your FYP or your Explore page or your Pinterest page, and to really have it match up what you want your life to be looking like right now, or the goals that you have for yourself. And this is, to me, there's a lot of, like, the algorithms on social media now are so much better than they used to be. I can watch one video about the benefits of pineapple, and then the next, you know, every other video for the next 20 videos are going to be about pineapples or pineapple recipes or something along those lines. So if you are really conscious of what you are consuming on your phone, what you're watching all the way through, what you're liking, what you're saving, what you're sending to people, you are the creator of the content that is being delivered to you. At the end of the day, it really is you. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like when this pops up for me, or I don't like when that pops up for me. if you just swipe away from it, or if you take a minute to click not interested in this, not the dislike button, but even just like the I'm not interested in this, the algorithm will understand that. But if you watch something all the way through, or if you watch something that you don't like and you even comment something negatively, again, the algorithm doesn't read your comment and knows that it's a negative comment. It just shows you watched that and then you engaged with it. You must like this. They're going to show you more of that. So it's always my reminder is like, you are the one that is controlling that. So when I think about visualizing, I think about, we're always on our phones so much, right? What are we looking at when we're scrolling? What are we consuming? What are we actually engaging with? And that is how we can reset ourselves and visualize with the best intentions that we have for this new season. So that is going to be everything for how we are going to have our summer glow up in 2025. We have the 60 days to lock in and make this our best summer yet. I hope you enjoyed the 4 different categories that we went through and some of my tips and tricks that I'm going to be using myself to have the best summer. Drop any of yours in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.